Hello Tamarals! In this video, let's talk about intercultural communication. To be specific, I'd like to talk about the three specific cultures based on communication styles, and this is proposed by Richard Lewis. So, what are these three specific cultures based on communication styles? You have linear active, multi-active, and reactive. So what's the difference between the three? First, let's talk about linear active communicators. So usually, these are the people who are composed, analytic, they're very determined and direct. Sometimes we'll even label them as frank or rude because we don't understand that their culture actually focuses on information. They wouldn't want to hear about things that are necessary for their lives, and they hate gossip, and they only want you to communicate things which are relevant or useful. So usually they like listening to factual information, and they are not very much into stories. So they use communication as a way of gathering information. The second kind are the multi-active communicators. So usually, they are warm and spontaneous. They're very enthusiastic. They like sharing stories. They like to express their emotions and to favor personal tales. So they like telling stories. Usually, these people, they are very vocal. But sometimes these are the ones where we are shocked with the way they communicate, because sometimes they tell us the most intimate stories when we're not that close to them, or sometimes that they you feel that they manipulate the discussion because they're the only ones talking. So usually those are the multi-active communicators. So the third kind are the reactive communicators. So they are very accommodating, they're non-confrontational, and they try to avoid conflict. So they're very patient listeners, and they value diplomacy over facts or opinions or emotions, and they remain reserved in their body gestures and their expressions. So normally, when we talk about this idea of Richard Lewis, he associates different groups of people, actually cultures, with the ones that are being described. So he's saying that it's usually the Americans and the Northern Europeans that are linear active, while it's usually the people from Brazil, Mexico, and Greece who are multi-active, and usually it's the East Asians who are reactive. But of course, we cannot generalize. It also has to do with where that person has been brought up, what cultures he or she has been exposed to. But at any rate, let's give some examples. However, these examples are just specific, and you cannot apply it to all of the people belonging to that nationality because people are different. So let's not overgeneralize. So usually, we can consider people in high positions as linear active communications. Normally, they only talk to you when they need reports or information. They are not very much into small talk because they're busy and they need to conserve their time. So they become linear active communicators in that manner. On the other hand, many old people are multi-active communicators. They like telling their stories, they are enthusiastic, they like sharing their emotions and their tales because they have the time. Lastly, you have reactive people. These are usually the shy people, and you'll notice that they won't tell you something straight out, but rather they will just hint it, and it's up to you if you get their hint or not. So, those are the three specific cultures based on communication styles by Richard Lewis.